Welcome back to the Open Wheel Offline League Season 4, Round 13 here at Watkins Glen. But we're running a little bit of a different layout. It's going to be closer to oval racing than it is to road course racing. And qualifying yesterday set up the field in very interesting ways. A lot of names and places where we're not used to seeing. So let's go through the starting grid all the way back. In last is the number 18 of Callum Ilott, not the greatest qualifying performance for this team. It's going to be hard for him to keep up his streak of second place finishes on road courses, but it still could be done with how close the cars are going to be running today. And then as we move up to 23rd, points leader Louis Foster up by 20 points over teammate Shane Van Gisbergen in the championship, but he's going to be starting all the way down in 23rd. In 22nd, Mahavir Raghunathan has a tough time in qualifying once again, not advancing out of round one, and 21st, Gail Barnhart, who is not able to have the same success that his teammates did, who we will get to soon. 20th, Jacob Abel, another difficult qualifying performance for him again. And then 19th, also difficult for Connor Zilich, who's going to be starting farther back than he's used to, but he's been able to make it up before. In 18th is the 03 of Dorian Pinn, also starting deep in the field with her teammate Louis Foster. We're going to have to see if she can cut her way through the field. And then in 17th is the 00 of Glubler Lore. In 16th is going to be Miles Rowe, who's had a pretty good run on the road courses as of recently and has moved his way up in the championship to 14th. So has actually been on a pretty good streak as of late. And 15th is going to be Catherine Legg, currently your Rookie of the Year championship leader, running new colors today in maroon, gold, and black. So new colors for her, not the only one with new colors. Then we have the 87 of Alessio Deletta, furthest back for the Banshees of Little Miami, who I hear are getting some new upgrades soon. We're going to have to see where their on-track progress goes after this race. Coming up next race is Pocono, which he won at last season. In 13th has been number 90 of Guy Gagne, just barely missed out on making it into round two. And then Shane Van Gisbergen, second in the championship, qualifies in 12th. We're going to have to see if he can make up some points. In 11th, not the greatest qualifying effort, but better than his last few, Robbie Lohr starts just outside the top 10. And then in 10th is going to be Brennan Hubbard with one of his best qualifying efforts of the season. Same can be said about the 47 of Lindsey Brewer, who's also a part of the Banshees of Little Miami, so look for them next week. And then starting 8th once again, I believe this is like his fourth time this season, 25 David Malukas in new colors, yellow, blue, and light blue. Pretty sharp looking livery. In 7th, best qualifying effort of the season as well for the number 95 of Ethan Martz. Looking for a good day today to hopefully get in the leader circle. And then 6th, making it into the Fast 6 is the 77 of Stingray Robb, who is also currently outside the leader circle. And then just barely inside is the 29 of Benjamin Peterson with a pretty strong qualifying effort. In 4th is Yuki Tsunoda, had a rough time at Montreal, looking for a good result today. And then in 3rd, Ryan Preece, looking to claw his way into this championship fight, dropped down to 4th in points with some tough times on the soft tires at Montreal. Then it is a front row lockout between the Silly Men racing cars with Chet Jordan starting second in that 24 car, looking for his fifth career win, and currently inside the top 10 in points. Would be a good day for him. And then in new colors, it's the 33 of Marcus Armstrong, who gets his first career pole in Silly Men Racing's second pole ever. He's trying to stay inside the leader circle in points, but this is a good qualifying effort for him and the team. Gonna have to see what they do today. Let's take a quick look at your weather. This race takes place late July, so 76 degrees, track temp 108. Tire wear going to be a major factor in this race as they go flying through the circuit. You look at the track map in your race info. That is not the normal Watkins Glen circuit. There is no bus stop and no boot. So going down into the carousel at the end of the back straightaway is going to hurt the tires a lot. Only 7 proper turns on this track, and 3 of them can be taken flat. Turn 1 in the carousel going to be your heaviest braking zones for passing, but it's going to be a tough day to be a tire. Um, but the 33 has a very good qualifying effort. Teammate Chet Jordan right behind. They're both looking for some good points on the table. Their teammate Gail Barnhart starts near the back, but this race, it's going to have a lot of movement. There's going to be a lot of passing, a lot of lead changes. It's going to race similar to the oval races instead of the traditional road course races. And this is something that does suit the 24 of Chet Jordan. He has only won on ovals. So although, yes, this is a road course, if he does win, it's still kind of an oval. But it goes right into what he does best, which is super speedway racing. So not going green this time, just as a reminder. 3 laps were added just to get us to the 50 lap count. So let's take a look at tires and see who's running what. So Marcus Armstrong, as you can see, he is running the medium tires. Chet Jordan on the hards right behind him. Ryan Preece on the softs. He had difficulty on the softs at Montreal, so we're going to have to see what he does with those today. Sonoda on the softs, Peterson on the softs, Stingray on the softs, Ethan on the softs, Malukas on the mediums, Brewer on the mediums, Brendan on the softs, Robbie on the softs, and Shane Van Gisbergen on the softs. Van Gisbergen we saw at Montreal started on the hards, but then moved over to the softs early on, and that got him to jump the field at the end. And strategy played into his hand, got him his 2nd win of the season. So always be aware of what strategy can play into this. I would not be surprised if we get an odd winner. It's an odd track. It's going to provide a lot of very close racing. So yeah, new liveries for Marcus Armstrong in the black and orange car. Gonna be the only orange car on your timing tower. David Malukas now running a yellow and blue car. Catherine Legg running black and maroon. Now this race is interesting because after this race, it's mostly ovals to the end of the season. As a couple cars coming in to the pits early, not for penalties, just to change tires. I believe all of them are on hards. So maybe a last second strategy change won't affect their positions. They were starting at the back anyways. So we are now 1 to green, and they will line up double file. Gonna be a swarm of bees coming down into the first turn. Gonna feel like it's gonna be a lot. So luckily at this track, starting near the back won't affect you too much. As, yeah, it's going to be a pack race. So starting at the back, not as bad as it is on other road courses, but still going to be a bit of a challenge to catch up. Be sure to watch for breakaways for the leaders. They're going to send it as soon as they can. Your inside line a little bit longer because Foster, Ilott, and Ragunathan pit early just to try to be sure they're making it on fuel and tires. And also just be aware that one lane may not accelerate as well as the other. If one car at the front doesn't go, it's going to hold everyone up. Ryan Preece is a little far back, so I wouldn't be surprised if that inside lane doesn't go on the restart. They are all lined up. Let's get ready to go. Marcus Armstrong brings us to the green at Watkins Glen. Already cars jumping out of line in the back. Ryan Preece trying to go for second. Chet Jordan going to hang on the outside into turn one. Everyone funnels into turn one. Connor Zilic already up a lot of spots into 14th already, as Armstrong already being chased down by Ryan Preece. Ethan Martz has already slid his way into fourth. As look at the sparks flying on that number 33 car. And Ryan Preece is going to swing around the outside, and he is going to get to the lead. He is going to be on the soft tires, though. We're going to have to see how well he can take care of them. As lap one is complete here at Watkins Glen, Ryan Preece going to lead the first lap. Started third. Armstrong, Jordan trying to build a little bit of a gap from Ethan Martz, who is down in fourth. But a very strong start. About 7/10 have already been built, but Chet Jordan on the hard tires, so he's hanging on a little less. As Peterson going to go to the inside in the back, and here's Chet Jordan trying to go on the inside of Marcus Armstrong for second place. Silly Men Racing teammates already getting elbows out, as the top three starting to break away from fourth on back. Ethan Martz leads Lindsey Brewer and then Benjamin Peterson. Preece going to lead the second lap as well. Chet Jordan kind of struggling at the back with these the hard tires. Up through the S's. As Marcus Armstrong gonna try to size up the number 64. But not quite able to get there. As fourth place has caught back up, Ethan Martz in this lead pack once again. But it is still Ryan Preece who leads the way. We have a couple stragglers off the back right now, as Marcus Armstrong tries to go around the outside in turn one, but checks up. And that is going to allow Chet Jordan to get by into second, and that is going to lose Armstrong a lot of time, leaving him vulnerable to the 95. Down the backstretch, Ethan Martz gets a big run. Chet Jordan has a run on the lead, who's able to stick it around the outside, and it's going to be Ryan Preece who stays ahead. Armstrong was luckily able to hang on to third place. Let's go on board with the 33 of Marcus Armstrong, as he gets by Chet Jordan once again. So Jordan now back into third. Once again, the top three have broken away from fourth place, as here comes Chet Jordan up the inside. Connor Zilich has cut his way into the top 10. Biggest mover so far on the day, from 19th to 10th place. Still moving forward. Ryan Priest gonna snake to the inside, being very defensive early on, as Chet Jordan's gonna sneak by Marcus Armstrong once again. So now the top 8 have a little bit of a gap to 9th. Louis Foster, your points leader, down in 21st, not making up any ground. As here goes Chet Jordan looking at the outside. This is a big gaggle. Jordan gonna have the speed off the turn. But Ryan Priest gonna stay ahead as Ethan Martz gets swamped back to 6th. Lindsey Brewer went aggressive on the inside. That pushed him backwards. Now down the front stretch once again. Guy Gagné has now cut his way into the top 5 and looking for more. Ryan Priest looking for a third win on the season. But we're going to have to see how long he can make these soft tires go and how much fuel is he burning at the front of this. As Armstrong now around the outside. He's on the medium tires. Back here, the 95 getting pushed back once again. As Guy Gagné did get into 4th going into the carousel, so he's moving forward. Started from 13th as Marcus Armstrong now on the inside. Hasn't led a lap today. But trying to get the lead here, so maybe Priest's tires have gone off just a little bit. Armstrong now on the stronger lane. As Silly Men Racing now 1-2 going down the backstretch. They're going to be 3 wide. But it's going to be Chet Jordan who's ahead. Unless Armstrong can hang it around the outside. No, he can't. So start from pole still has not led a lap. But he's going to be on the inside here once again. But it is still Chet Jordan with the lead. The new leader on this lap. 24 of Chet Jordan. We have one car straggling off the back. That is the 54 of Mahavir Raghunathan. As there goes Marcus Armstrong around the outside, trying to make that work. It's going to be the long way around, going up the S's. And that is going to make him lose out to Ryan Priest, who is back in 2nd. Now Priest has a run on the outside. How much is in his tires? Not much to stay. Side by side has to back out of it sooner. Top 5 have now broken away from 6th by a pretty sizable amount. 6th place currently held by Ethan Martz. Hasn't really been able to keep up as much. As here goes Armstrong up the inside once again. Not able to get there. This is leaving Chet Jordan a little bit of breathing room as we go into the carousel. 10 laps complete, 40 laps remain. Here goes Marcus Armstrong on the inside of Ryan Priest for 2nd place. Not able to get there. Tire wear starting to become a serious factor, as the 95 is now 3 seconds back from the 47 who runs in 5th. As here goes Marcus Armstrong trying to look again, not able to get there as Chet Jordan has nearly built up a second lead. So Marcus Armstrong might be playing a little bit of defense. Philly Men Racing have 2 cars up at the front. Once again, they close back in. Back here, Ethan Marks starting to slide backwards. He lost a few spots there. Now Benjamin Peterson leads this second group, followed by David Malukas and Connor Zilich as 6th through 8th. As Malukas now trying to make a move. As back here, Priest and Armstrong continue to battle, which has now given Chet Jordan a 1-second lead. So even more of a gap. As here goes Armstrong, he is able to stick it around the outside with the medium tires, which is now better than the soft tires as those are starting to go away. As Armstrong now into second, 1.5 seconds to Chet Jordan, who has started to drive away. Marcus Armstrong doing a good job back here. Shane Van Gisbergen has now cut into the top 10 as he got by Ethan Marks. Trying to make up some good points today, and there's a lot of points on the table with Foster back in 21st and not moving forward. Big draft train, and it's kind of hard to push forward. As the cream's starting to rise to the top just a bit. As David Malukas pushes by Connor Zilich. Robbie gets by Benjamin Peterson. 2.1 second lead between Jordan and Armstrong. Armstrong starting to get away from Priest. We knew Jordan would be able to go a little bit longer on the hard tires. And right now it is paying dividends. Nearly a 1-second gap has been made between Armstrong and Priest. Gagne and Brewer just trying to hang on. Gagne on the softs, Brewer is on the mediums. It's a little bit better tires in the 47. 6 seconds behind them, you'll find David Malukas, who leads Connor Zilich. Both of these cars, as there goes Zilich around the outside, able to make it stick. As he's starting to charge forward, started all the way back in 19th, has cut up to 6th. A lot of spots being made. Louis Foster starting to move forward just a bit. Faster cars starting to move forward. As now it's starting to feel more like a regular road course with the tire wear. Both Lohr brothers run 8th and 9th. They haven't been together much this season. But both inside the top 10. 3-second lead. Priest has not left Armstrong just yet. Priest is going to send it up the inside, not able to get there. All it takes is one yellow flag and Chet Jordan's lead goes away. Brewer has gotten by Guy Gagne as those 90 tires are starting to go. It looks good still. David Malukas and Connor Zilich still battle for 6th. And this is losing them ground, but they are now only 5 seconds behind Gagne. Still losing time to Chet Jordan, who nearly has a 4-second lead now. So here comes the 00, who might be on hards, which is why he's pushing forward a lot. Tire strategy playing a big factor in this race. The 95 of Ethan Martz was running up in 4th at one point, has now been swamped all the way down to 19th. They are going much slower now. 0.8 tenths between Armstrong and Preece. 4.5 seconds between Jordan and Armstrong. If it does stay green, yellow flag pit stops are, sorry, green flag pit stops going to become a big factor. How fast can you get them done? And then what tires do you decide to go with? I wouldn't be surprised if everyone's pushing to the midway point, which on this would say lap 28, but would actually be lap 25, as there goes Glubler on the hard tires. He's just going to move around David Malukas. It's no big deal. Tire difference is really big right now. Right now, Louis Foster running on the mediums, but not advancing, as David Malukas will be the first car in pit lane on lap 18, so he's going to have a long way to go. And he's on the medium, so he might go medium-medium or medium-hard. Gale Barnhart, the third Sillyman Racing car, starting to move forward. He's up to 13th. But it's a pretty long way till the top 10, which is led by Connor Zilich, who's now really starting to struggle on the soft tires. Shane Van Gisbergen right behind him in 8th, who is also on the soft tires but is running pretty well. So Malukas 7.9 second pit stop, and he is out and away. Nearly a lap down though, as he is going to come out on the softs. That is an interesting strategy, but he's going to have clean air right now to try to break away. 7-second lead between Chet Jordan and Marcus Armstrong. Looking good for Sillyman Racing so far, but a lot of racing left to go. Catherine Legg gets by Benjamin Peterson for 10th. Van Gisbergen and Zilich run 7th and 8th. As Glubler has now tracked down and passed Guy Gagné for 5th. So that 00 is flying. He's pretty good on the ovals, so seeing him do well today is not a surprise. As the top part of the field pretty spread out, but that 00 he is flying. No race wins under his belt. The Magenta Trees only have 2 wins as a team and are trying to have a big day today. Currently running 5th, but Stingray Rob has fallen down to 17th. Race not quite going his way. 7.5 second lead between Jordan and Armstrong. Jordan's starting to slow down just a little bit. Connor Zilich drops down to 8th as Shane Van Gisbergen gets by. Van Gisbergen could be in a very good spot points-wise. Right now he's only going to be a couple points back from Louis Foster, who currently runs in 18th. At 11, desperately needs to start pushing forward. He wants some good points. As I said, Chet Jordan was slowing down, but he's gained another second on Marcus Armstrong. As the 00 Glover Lord, not going to be too far off Lindsey Brewer soon, but Brewer's probably closer to Preece, if anything. So David Malukas, compared to the guys he was running with, 52.76 for, he's running 2.5 seconds faster than most of the guys. The only guy that's kind of keeping up is Chet Jordan. So fresh tires, big for the 25, as he's trying to push as much as he can. If we have a battle for 3rd now, just shy of the halfway point. Lindsey Brewer all over the back of Ryan Preece. As here goes the 00 of Glubler. He's on the hard tires, so he is able to go the longest, and he's just going to blow by both of them. That 00 is absolutely flying. As Chet Jordan going to enter the pits now. This is an interesting strategy, but we're going to have to see if it works. So coming in early on the hard tires, this is going to give Marcus Armstrong the lead, and he'll lead his first lap of the race. We're going to have to see if that benefits Chet Jordan. But he may come out in the middle of traffic. As he's in his pit box, 9.5 second pit stop. That is a long pit stop. Couple cars in the back pitting. Stingray Robb, Yuki Tsunoda, Dorian Pin, Alessio Deletta, and Ethan Martz. So we're going to have to see. Chet Jordan is on the softs trying to get to the end. Currently in clean air. But the 75 of Jacob Abel may slow him down. Teammates to Ryan Preece. So maybe in his benefit to hold him up as Marcus Armstrong pits now. Glover going to take the lead. As Ryan Preece going to follow. Lindsey Brewer now in second. We're at about the halfway point. Chet Jordan already up into fifth. Armstrong and Preece trying to go with the undercut. Not the fastest stop from Armstrong. Preece even slower. Gonna have to see how that factors into the 00 and the 47. As Globler comes in now, it is a hot pit road. As Chet Jordan already ahead of Marcus Armstrong, and by a good bit. That 24 is absolutely flying. Globler, Lindsey Brewer, Guy Gagné come in now. We're gonna have to see where the 00 comes out in terms of the 33, the 64, and the 47. Lindsey Brewer in the background right behind. Louis Foster, the only other car that hasn't pit yet. Not the quickest stop from Glover. Armstrong's going to go by as David Malukas has jumped Marcus Armstrong. But he is going to be a little bit on the struggle bus to the end. Ryan Preece going to jump Lindsey Brewer. Guy Gagné is going to get jumped by Connor Zilic. Shane Van Gisbergen will blow by him as well. Gagné will come out in 10th. Louis Foster, the only other car that hasn't pit, so that's going to put Robbie in the top 10. So, interesting strategy from the 11 team. I don't quite see the benefit. They may lose even more spots. When you're going for a championship, that's not the best call. So 25 laps to go. We are halfway in the race. Everyone's made their pit stop. I don't think they're going to need another one. The only car I'm a little bit concerned about maybe is 25. As something to note, Chet Jordan is coming up on lap traffic soon. That is the 87 of Alessio Deletta, not far up the road. Which may provide a little bit of a problem as David Malukas is going to go by Louis Foster, but here comes Marcus Armstrong. He's going to be on the mediums again, going to go medium. So Louis Foster really trying to push, but he's probably only losing time. As he'll come in now. Gonna have to see where he comes out. Right now looking like a good points day for Preece, Zilic, Van Gisbergen. As Gagné and Robbie battle behind. So 13-second lead for Chet Jordan. So we're going to have to see if David Malukas can keep up with Armstrong, but probably with tire wear, I don't think that's possible. right now looking like a Silly Men Racing 1-2. Glubler's going to be on the soft, so he's going to be a little bit difficult to make it to the end. Priest on the mediums. So Louis Foster's going to exit, and he's going to be behind Chet Jordan. So this is looking like a very disastrous day for Louis Foster, a complete disaster with the strategy. This may be one of the days where we look back on and think that this is where his championship may have fallen apart. He's going to slot in behind the 24. The Silly Men Racing currently run 1, 2, and 17. Gale Barnhart not doing the greatest so far. He's on the medium tires, so gonna have to see where that puts him at the end. Van Gisbergen just lost spots to Gagne and Robbie. Not quite sure what tires they are running. Looks like mediums from the both of them, so they're all on the same tire, so this is an actual battle. So Chet Jordan has lost about a second to Marcus Armstrong. So he's closing in. David Malukas now about to be passed by Glubler for third place. Not much of a defense from the 25. He might also be saving a little bit to make it to the end. Just trying to make it in the top 10. Ryan Priest back there in 5th. Will probably be on him very soon. As the number 90 and the 30 are side by side. Van Gisbergen got by both of them once again. As Louis Foster did get ahead of Chet Jordan. He's on the medium tires, so he's trying to have a lot better tires at the end, but right now this is not the spot where he'd want to be in. There's not many points available in front of him. As this battling is really hurting Chet Jordan, he has lost another second to Marcus Armstrong. Glubler hanging on to a third right now as David Malukas and Ryan Priest are gonna battle for 4th. So Priest gonna slide on by. He's gonna move into the top 4. Gonna see if he has anything to chase down the 00. It's gonna be on the soft, so he may be able to do it at the end of the race. It's gonna be quite difficult. Armstrong on the mediums, so he's looking good. Chet Jordan on the softs. Gonna be interesting to see if Chet Jordan can keep his big lead, but he extended his lead by so much. It's gonna be pretty hard to beat him. But a yellow flag could completely undo his race. Right now, outside the top 10, Catherine Legg and Benjamin Peterson battle for 11th. Not too far off the top 10, but there's still a little bit of a gap. Connor Zilic kind of in his own world. About 4 seconds back to his teammate Guy Gagne and 8 seconds to Lindsey Brewer. That's probably the quietest part of the track besides maybe where Armstrong is. 5 seconds to Glubler, 9 seconds to Chet Jordan. So just barely. This spot's a little more lonely. But 9 seconds now is the gap between Jordan and Armstrong. Battling the 11 may be hurting him. As that 33 is coming in hot. David Malukas not able to make it to the end. He's going to pit now. And we're going to have to see where he's going to come out. But he may end up a lap down, and this will be tough to overcome for the 25 team. Road courses have been a struggle for this team. And that's going to hurt. So was not able to make it. Tires were too used. As Chet Jordan's going to come in now, he is not able to make it to the end. So Marcus Armstrong is going to come by. He's on the medium tires, and he is going to jump him. So the 33 of Marcus Armstrong now in the lead, as Glubler is in second. As this race has just been turned on its head, Chet Jordan not able to make it to the end on tires. Not going to fall super far back, but he is going to be in a tough position that is not going to be easy to overcome. He's going to be just inside the top 10. Medium tires to the end. Still in 6th, so it's not over for him, but 23 seconds going to be a lot to overcome unless everyone else has to pit, which I don't know if Marcus Armstrong's going to need to. Glubler may have to, just with the tires he's running. Ryan Preece, he's on the medium, so he's probably good. Brewer's probably good. Zilich looks to be good. So I think the only one at the front that may be in a little bit of trouble is the 00, who is losing time to Ryan Preece. So Chet Jordan's still on for a top 5, but that domination probably won't net him any result. He's now starting to break away from that group. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to track down Zilich, and Brewer is even farther ahead, but right now, smooth sailing for Marcus Armstrong, 7.5 seconds, and that continues to grow. Billy Men Racing still looking very strong in this race, as Louis Foster, all the way back in 23rd, still not many points are on the table for that team. Callum also having a tough day, down in 19th, Dorian Pinn in 17th. Marcus Armstrong all the way down 20th in points, just inside the leader's circle, but has had so much pace and just a lot of misfortune, as Ryan Preece going to try to go around the outside of the 00. That is going to push the 64 wide, but he's going to re-enter the track. And it's going to be Preece who gets to second. Glubler going to be shoved back to third. Catherine Legg has now broken inside the top 10. Still looking to hang on for Rookie of the Year, but Connor Zilich having a strong run so far in 5th. Glubler really struggling to get to the end. Chet Jordan may have just tried to rip the Band-Aid off, and instead of having to worry about tires, just trying to push. But that is still a big miscalculation on the team. But a podium, still doable. Track down Connor Zilich quite quickly. He's going to have much fresher tires, nearly 15 laps better, 20 I'd say, as he's going to get by no problem. It is 7 seconds to Lindsey Brewer. And Glubler is just hanging on for dear life, trying to make it home. 8.5 seconds for Marcus Armstrong over Ryan Preece. So maybe the gap Chet Jordan was building was to try to pull off a 2-stopper. And he's already closed in a second on Brewer, so he is absolutely flying out there, turning some hot laps. Glubler not losing too much time to Brewer so far, but he is going to be very much struggling by the end of this race. All cars on the lead lap. 30. This group has been non-stop battling, as Ryan Preece is not able to make it to the end. He's going to pit now. The 64 of Ryan Preece, for whatever reason, is not able to make it to the end. And yet somehow Glubler is still out there. So this may be a 2-stop for everybody, possibly. Or just a select few. Reese is going to come out just in front of the 99. We're actually a little bit behind. Should be able to blow by most of these guys, but this is going to be a tough group to get through. But a top 10 still in sight as Marcus Armstrong has to pit. So it is a two-stopper. So this may have put Chet Jordan back into the lead. But Lindsey Brewer, you have to watch her strategy. She's always one you can overcome. So the 33 has to pit. 2.9 seconds to Lindsey Brewer. Chet Jordan back into third. He's good to make it to the end. Marcus Armstrong gonna pit. He's going to come out in about 10th. Peterson pits. So 6.5 seconds. He's going to come out on the soft tires just ahead of Catherine Legg. As Globler trying to hang on. These two probably trying to go as long as they can. Chet Jordan only 2 seconds back from Brewer already. As he stays out on the soft tires, Lindsey Brewer is closing in, but Chet Jordan closing in even faster. This race is still on, but now there's a lapped car in the way. Benjamin Peterson in between Globler and Brewer, who is the teammate of Lindsey Brewer, so that is quite interesting. Brendan Hubbard comes into pit lane now. 10 laps to go. Who can make it to the end? So Globler passed by Benjamin Peterson. Lindsey Brewer now 1 second back. Chet Jordan not far behind. And on the best tires. Half a second now. As these three are going to be on top of each other, Zilic comes into pit lane. Brewer going to be right on the 00, but the 24 of Chet Jordan's right there. Brewer looking for career win number 3. Globler looking for number 1. Chet Jordan looking for number 5. And he's going to go to the inside, and he is going to blow by both of them. As the 24 of Chet Jordan now into the lead at Watkins Glen. And then back here, Lindsey Brewer just trying to get into second, but Globler puts on a strong defense. Many cars trying to stretch to the end to try to get some good results. David Malukas has slid back into the top 10 because of this, which may explain why Louis Foster went for so long. That may have been his best shot. 77 of Stingray Robb behind Brewer, so he may be trying to get by to help Globler. Catherine Legg in pit lane. As back here, the 00 and the 47 battle side by side, but the 47 doesn't have much for him. Chet Jordan already up to a 2-second lead. Armstrong gets by Van Gisbergen. So Armstrong back into the top 4. He's going to need Globler or Brewer to pit to get back on the podium, but right now it's still a strong day for Silly Men Racing regardless. If Chet Jordan can just keep it clean to the end. Van Gisbergen looking at a good points day. Ryan Preece has gotten back into the top 10. Yuki Tsunoda pits now. That's going to be a tough points day for him if no one else pits with him. But the 24 smooth sailing ahead. Globler still trying to hang on to second. Both these two very much struggling on tires. Neither of them pit this time. as Stingray Rob and Brennan Hubbard gonna blow by both of them. Chet Jordan already up to nearly a 7-second lead after blowing by these two, and Marcus Armstrong is closing in the back. In the background, you can see him. Brewer still unable to get by Glubler with 6 laps remaining. Five laps to go, neither of them have pit. Going to be an all-out to the end for second place, as Marcus Armstrong is right there. Looking at a Silly Men Racing 1-2, Ryan Priest closing in hot. Still no run by the 47, Alessio Deletta trying to play a little bit of bodyguard for Lindsey Brewer. Look at Armstrong trying to figure out where to go. You can see him swerving back and forth. But Armstrong on the back of Lindsey Brewer now. Deletta falls back. As 4 laps to go, Marcus Armstrong now trying to go up the inside of both of them. May be able to get 2 and 1. He's right there, and he's going to get both of them. So Marcus Armstrong now into second. Glubler looking for his second podium of the season. Brewer looking for her second as well. Absolute cinema playing out, and Ryan Priest is closing in hot as well. So Priest not done. These two desperate trying to make it to the end. Three laps to go. Chet Jordan has an 11-second lead. It looks safe for him. As Yuki Tsunoda gonna go up the inside of Lindsey Brewer, which is going to make her lose a little bit of time. Alessio Deletta all over the place. Callum Ilott has broken into the top 10. So here comes Lindsey Brewer. Does she make a move? Not quite. Both of them let the lap traffic go, and Lindsey Brewer is going to dive to the inside. A surprise move, as she will now get onto the podium. But with 2 laps to go, Ryan Priest closing in the back. Also back here, Guy Gagné and Shane Van Gisbergen continue to battle for 6th. They have been all out all race. But right now, Chet Jordan in cruise control. Marcus Armstrong also pretty much in cruise control. Glubler may have a little bit to fight back, but I think the real threat for the podium is Ryan Priest running in 5th. Glubler gonna look to the inside. Maybe his last shot, and he's not able to get there, not able to hang it out. As white flag for Chet Jordan. Ten-second lead over teammate Marcus Armstrong, as the battle for third is hot. Ryan Priest going to go up the inside of Glubler, as he's going to easily get into 4th. Does he have enough to chase down Lindsey Brewer? Meanwhile, going into the carousel, Chet Jordan. A strong, dominant day from the 24. It looked a little in doubt, but here comes the 64 looking for 3rd place. And is going to easily blow by as checkered flag for Chet Jordan coming out of the final turn. Silly Men Racing wins once again. And it is going to be the first 1-2 for the team as Marcus Armstrong is going to come around and finish in second. And then Ryan Preece right at the end gets onto the podium in third. Lindsey Brewer takes fourth and Glubler takes fifth. Back here, Van Gisbergen sixth, Gagne seventh, Robbie eighth, Malukas ninth. Then Connor Zilic is going to get ahead to finish 10th. What a race here at Watkins Glen. I cannot believe what I just saw. That was incredible racing all throughout the field. Amazing pit stop strategy. But it is the 24 who's back on top. Fifth career win, fourth win for Silly Men Racing. And not only is it a win, it's a second place as well. Let's take a look at the official results. Chet Jordan up by 9.5 seconds on Marcus Armstrong. Just absolute domination from those two, not just in qualifying, but the race as well. Ryan Preece gets third on the last lap. Strong effort from the 64 team that is definitely going to help him towards the championship. Lindsey Brewer's strong race in fourth was able to make it on just one stop, and especially congratulations to Glover on the fifth, making the soft tires go to the end. Shane Van Gisbergen in sixth, a very good points day for him. Guy Gagne will finish seventh with a strong result. Robbie will finish eighth. David Malukas comes back to a ninth, and Connor Zilic will round out the top 10. As we look for the rest of the field, Dorian Pinn just outside the top 10 and 11th. Unfortunately, Callum Ilot's second place streak will end at Watkins Glen. He'll finish in 12th. Louis Foster fights back for a 13th, so a little bit is salvaged there, but still not a strong result. Jacob Abel will finish 14th. Miles Rowe was looking at a top 10 in the closing laps, but falls down to 15th. Gale Barnhart, not as much success as his teammates. He'll finish down in 16th. Catherine Legg will probably lose the Rookie of the Year lead as she finishes in 17th. Benjamin Peterson in 18th. 19th will be Brennan Hubbard, first car a lap down. Stingray Robb 20th. Yuki Tsunoda 21st, another rough result for him. 22nd, Mahavir Raghunathan. 23rd, Alessio Deletta. Then Ethan Martz will finish last after what looked to be a career day. So that is it for Watkins Glen. It was quite the exciting race. But up next, we are going actual super speedway racing in the Poconos. We're going to the Tricky Triangle for the second race of the Triple Crown. It is going to be an incredible race as well. A lot of money on the line. And I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be one you wouldn't want to miss. So thank you all for watching.